Growing up with a bipolar dad. As I grew up, life was rather turbulent. One issue after another, and it became the standard to constantly cope with whatever was happening around me. Most of these situations were caused by my dad. As I was a child, we didn't know about him being bipolar. He didn't get diagnosed until I was 16 years old. But when I was 7, he went to prison for almost a year. I don't know all the details, but it had something to do with a tax fraud. And from that point it just went downhill, and we suspect that when he came out of prison is when his first manic episode started. For those who have no experience with bipolar people and manic episodes, it's probably hard to understand what it's like. The classic issues would be spending a lot of money, self-medicate, and in some cases they would seek out intimate relations. But on top of it all, the entire personality gets shifted. At least from the experience I had with my dad. I could talk to him, scream at him, cry while expressing how his actions made me feel, but he wouldn't even flinch. I couldn't get through. Even as a kid I couldn't get through, and it really changed how I pursued people as I got older. Now for the story. I was 8 years old. When he got out of prison, his entire way of being changed. He started working out, drinking protein shakes. He also got a motorcycle and joined a MC gang. As I grew up, my dad never consumed alcohol. He was always sober, or so I thought. I learned later on he both drank and did drugs on the side. He became more and more distant, and the entire situation at home was weird. I don't remember exactly how or when I learned about him having an affair, but unfortunately I was very aware. He would go to work, come home, take a shower, pack his clothes, and leave to spend the night with his mistress. Whenever he came home it felt like a boulder in my stomach, because I knew it was going to be a mess all over again. Every single day I would listen to my mom begging him to stay and stop doing this. With no results, she would turn to me and ask me to beg him to stay. He never did. In the middle of the night I would wake up and hear my mom on the phone with him, cussing him out and telling him he's making this family fall apart. I heard more than she intended to and became very aware of the details of his affair and what adults are really like. I learned to understand parts of it that an 8-year-old kid shouldn't understand yet. This all went on for a couple of months, and my dad even insisted that his mistress could come live with all of us and we could become one big family. Shows how insane he really was. Eventually I guess he came to his senses and realized what he had done. He stopped the affair, sold his bike, quit the gang, and started spending more time with us again. This wasn't the only bad period with him, and each time it happened it got worse, and as I was 22 years old and learned all the details of what he's been doing, I had to face the truth. He's a rotten human being. I haven't had any contact with him. Today I'm 26 years old and I haven't had any contact with him since I was 22. I've really struggled with my mental health, but with time I managed to get proper help. I'm on antidepressants and I've gone through therapy. I've worked on the relationship with my mom. It's been rather strained in the past. I've felt a lot of anger and disappointment towards her, but we've talked it out and today we have a wonderful relationship. My life is finally coming together and I'm excited to move forward. You can't choose who'll be your parent, but you have every right to cut them off if they cause you more harm than good. There's obviously more to the story, but if I told everything it would become a very long one. If this story is interesting or helpful to anyone, but if anyone has any questions I'll be more than happy to answer them.